I'm Alistair Greener for South West London TV. The forthcoming parliamentary elections on the 7th of May could be the most exciting and most unpredictable yet, which is why it's important that we get to find out what our local candidates actually stand for. They've all been given an opportunity to give us their 30-second manifestos, so here they are.
Everybody knows no one party is going to win the next general election. That's why smaller parties matter. The Liberal Democrats didn't win in 2010. But as part of the government, we've helped deliver liberal policies, such as tax cuts for 27 million people, trebling of renewable energy, introducing shared parental leave. They would not have happened under a Conservative government. If you want more liberal policy, such as an £8 billion investment in the NHS, focus on mental health care and taking those on minimum wages out of paying income tax altogether, then vote Liberal Democrats on the 7th of May. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Dan Watkins, long-term resident and local business owner. If elected in May, I'm looking to work with the whole community to take Tooting to the top. We live in a great area, but there are developments on the horizon, good and bad, which we need to make sure we have a proactive champion to work locally with the whole community to shape the area to see it the way we want it. So, for instance, I'm leading campaigns working with residents to save the Wheatsheaf pub, to protect ones of the common by removing the Crossrail 2 access shafts. We've brought the Romany Scout site into community ownership, and I run the Love Your Local Awards, which support our high street, helping businesses just like this one to thrive. As you can see, I'm totally committed to Tooting, and I will hope you support me on May the 7th. Thank you.
I was born at St George's Hospital, as were my children, and I attended local state schools, as do my children. I'm out about today like I normally am, campaigning with the local community to keep the Wheatsheaf open, campaigning with them to stop our athletic track being sold off, and it's still open. We've worked together to get Earlsfield Station refurbished and had lifts installed in Balham Station as well. And I want to carry on serving our community to save and transform the NHS so St George's goes from strength to strength, and to get people to see their GP much, much quicker. We need to build much more affordable homes locally to buy and to rent. We need to massively increase the minimum wage and end 0 hours contracts. I love this area. That's why I'm standing for Parliament. Vote for me on May the 7th.
I'm Esther Buridarko, and I'm the Green Party candidate for Tooting. As a teacher, young people are very important to me. And the reason I'm standing is because the Green Party are the only party that are in favour of a living wage as opposed to a minimum wage. And for young people, that's going to be incredibly significant.
At this election, the choice is clear. The Conservative Party have delivered a strong economy, and why is that important? Because here in Wimbledon, unemployment is at a historic low. Youth unemployment has fallen by 40%. We've rebuilt health centres in Rains Park, and the Nelson Hospital is reopening. Transport is improving as well, and that's all important because it gives people the chance to live their lives. At this election, the choice is clear. It's forward with the Conservatives, the politics of aspiration, or back to Labour and the politics of envy.
Well, here we are at Nabby Mills, which is one of my favourite places. The River Wandle runs through it, and behind me is the Children's Colour House Theatre, where my wife Linda is the chair and has written many of the productions. But as a local Labour council here, we're also trying to establish business opportunities for young people, arts graduates, many of them, to establish their own creative businesses, both here and in the neighbouring South Wimbledon industrial estate. And that really symbolises Labour's commitment both to young people and to business. And I believe Labour in office will make a major difference, both locally and nationally. So it's a very strong reason to vote Labour on May the 7th.
My name's Waleed Ghani, and I'm the leader of the Whig Party. I'm standing in Vauxhall for Parliament to provide an intelligent choice. The Whig Party supports issues that matter most to progressive South Londoners. We're pro-EU, pro-immigration, we want to introduce universal free childcare, and we want to expand the NHS to include social care. I love our part of Lambeth, and I'm excited to be part of an important conversation about the kind of constituency, city and country we are, and the kind of future we can build for ourselves. So if you agree, vote Whig on May the 7th.
I'm Gulnar Hasnain, and I'm the Green Party candidate for Vauxhall. There are many people like myself who are disillusioned with the status quo in politics and want to see a real change towards a fairer society. I am fighting for an economy that works for all, truly affordable housing, a public NHS, support for our local businesses and better, cleaner transport. Here in Vauxhall we have a real opportunity to vote for what we believe in. Voting Green on the 7th of May sends a message to the main parties that business as usual is not an option.
Hi, I'm Mark Chapman. I'm the Pirate Party candidate for Vauxhall, and we stand for politics that's fit for a digital age. Supporting personal freedoms, digital rights, holding government to account and rolling back the surveillance state. Unlike others who appear to be afraid of technology, we embrace it, we understand it. We just want to make sure that it's used for everyone. These days, if you stand up for free internet or for equal access to medicines, then you get called a pirate. We believe being a pirate means that you're independent-minded and able to think critically. And that's what we need in Westminster right now. That's why we're saying, if you think different, then vote different. Vote pirate.
Hi, I'm James Bellis, long-time resident and now Conservative candidate for Vauxhall. Over the last 5 years, I've really seen how the economic recovery has benefited people in Vauxhall. Over 2,500 youngsters starting an apprenticeship. Unemployment 40% lower than it was in 2010. And many thousands of people benefiting from the income tax reductions that we've seen over the last years. But I also know that we still need to do more to secure the future of hard-working families right across Vauxhall. And we'll do that in three main ways. We'll support people who want to own their own home, make it easier for people to own their own home. We'll continue to allow people to keep more of what they earn through further reductions in income tax. And finally, we'll continue to invest in our vital public services. So if, like me, you want to see the future of hard-working families secured, then vote Conservative on May the 7th.
The two things that matter most to me in this election are education and the NHS. On the NHS, the Lib Dems are the only party that have committed to providing the NHS the extra £8 billion a year that they tell us they need. Only a Lib Dem vote will provide the funding for the NHS to remain a world-leading healthcare system that is free to use by all. On education, if the Tories are able to govern alone after the election, they will cut education funding in real terms so that they can give tax cuts to the rich. They have already told us this is what they're going to do. Only the Lib Dems can stop the Tories in their assault on great British institutions.
I'm proud of what the Conservative-led government has done to get our economy back on track. It's been a difficult road to recovery, but we're definitely on track now and we need to keep it going. In Battersea, we've seen the difference. Youth unemployment more than halved. Unemployment overall down by 40%, 575 new businesses since 2010. My local priorities are public transport, really important in an area like this, making sure every child gets the best start in life, whether it's great healthcare and great local schools, and supporting local businesses. I've drawn on my own business background with John Lewis to give positive and practical support to local businesses, and I'm president of Wandsworth Chamber of Commerce, which I'm really proud about. It was a privilege to be the MP for Battersea from 2010 to 2015. And I'd very much like the privilege of continuing to serve the constituency in that way.
My name's Chris Howe. I was born and raised in Battersea, and we used to live just down Lavender Hill on the left-hand side, about 200 yards away in Acanthus Road. I believe our country is in mortal danger, and the only way it can be saved is by voting for a majority UKIP government which will take us out of a politicised European Union. Once we've got our liberty back, UKIP will, for example, deregulate the childcare market, which is what it's become, and allow parents the choice of leaving their child with a non-Ofsted regulated person, such as a mother who may have a growing or grown-up family with whom you can leave your most precious gift. Don't be conned or treated with disdain by the current established political parties. Vote for UKIP on May the 7th.
This election is the most important in a generation. We must see the economic recovery continue over the next 5 years. And even though we're in a Labour seat here in Mitcham and Morden, it's Conservative policies that are helping people whose lives improve in the constituency. Unemployment's down by 30%, youth unemployment's down, health services are improving, and we've got better transport links. But I think we can go much further, and that's why I'm asking for you to support me, Paul Holmes and the Conservatives on May the 7th.
Hi, I'm Richard Hilton. I'm the UKIP candidate for Mitcham and Morden, and I'm here today in Mitcham to tell you about two of our key pledges for the election that I think you'll find really important. Firstly, on the NHS, we've pledged a fully funded £3 billion extra for frontline services. That's 20,000 nurses and extra 8,000 GPs. Furthermore, we're going to completely stop the scandal of international health tourism. It's a national health service, not an international health service, and that will give an extra £2 billion that we can direct straight at frontline services. That's UKIP standing up for our NHS. But we'll do more than that. We'll also take people on the minimum wage out of tax altogether. We're going to raise the tax threshold to £13,000 during the course of this Parliament. So we say no to the tax of the minimum wage, no to the bedroom tax. I urge you to vote UKIP on the 7th of May. Thank you.
My name's Siobhan McDonough and I have been the MP for the best constituency in the country, Mitcham and Morden, for the last 17 years. The place that I was born and brought up in and the place I love to represent. And my pledge to you is if re-elected on May the 7th, I will do everything I can to make this place a good place to bring up your family, to educate your children, to get a good job and to get somewhere decent to live. I can't do that on my own. I need to do it with you and with a Labour government. So please vote Labour on May the 7th.
Hello, my name is Sheila Boswell and I am the Labour Party's parliamentary candidate to fight the general election here in Putney. If you elect me as your MP on May 7th, these will be my priorities: to address the severe shortage of affordable family-sized homes here in Putney. Just around the corner on Upper Richmond Road, the tower blocks rise with flats over £500,000 that very few locally can afford. The Labour Party will build 200,000 new homes every year to 2020 with priority given to local people and first-time buyers. I will also address the issue of chronic air pollution here on Putney High Street. The bus station could be moved up to Putney Heath and away from the High Street, and deliveries could take place in the side streets and not on the main High Street. If elected on May 7th, the Labour Party will devolve powers to local councils to address issues like air pollution. Please vote for me on May 7th.
I've lived in Putney for many years and it's been a real privilege to represent Putney, Roehampton and Southfields in Parliament over the last 10 years. I've taken local people's priorities and made them mine as an MP. So I've worked on improving our local transport, the tubes and the trains, but also the buses. I've been focused on leading our campaign against Heathrow expansion so we don't have any more aircraft noise locally. And I'm going to make sure that the regeneration that happens in Roehampton really works for local people and improves facilities and also creates jobs. So I hope I can get your support on the 7th of May to continue all of that work, and I'll be doing my best to work as hard as I can for our local community.
I'm Simon, I'm Liberal Democrat, and if you live in Chelsea and Fulham, I'm asking for your support this May. Over the last 5 years, my party has delivered an £800 tax cut for the lowest paid and invested more in our education and mental health services. We've closed tax loopholes, implemented a triple lock on pensions and doubled renewable energy in just 4 years. Yes, these are highlights, and yes, there's more to do, but none of these things would have happened without my party in government. Moving forward, I want our local councils to have more powers so they can build more affordable homes and more health services. I want people who are born here to be able to live, work and grow old here too. I also want to reform our broken electoral system so everyone's vote counts, no matter who you vote for or where you live. Labour, they can't be trusted with our economy, and the Conservatives, well, they can't be trusted with our society either. Only my party, the Liberal Democrats, have proven we can be trusted to deliver both. So if you want a stronger economy and a fair society, opportunity for everyone, not just the few, then please vote Simon Bailey and Liberal Democrat on May the 7th. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Naomi Newstead. I'm the Conservative candidate for Camberwell and Peckham. I'm here in Camberwell, I'm from this area, and I'm really proud to be the candidate here and proud to say that 1,000 people in the last year have come off benefits into jobs under the Conservative government. And I want to make sure more young people get jobs here in Camberwell and Peckham. So please support me on the 7th of May. Thank you.
I'm Rebecca Fox. I'm standing for the National Health Action Party. It's a party set up by doctors and others who know what's happening to our NHS. We're fighting against privatisation, which is happening and has increased massively under the current government. It costs more to run the system that way, and patient outcomes are often worse as private companies care more about their profits than about patients. We're also fighting for better funding for the NHS, as we currently spend the least of all the G7 nations on our healthcare system. If we were to spend just the average, we'd be spending an extra £44 billion a year on our NHS. None of the main parties are talking about anywhere near that sum. So if you care about our NHS, vote National Health Action Party here in Camberwell and Peckham. It is a safe Labour seat, so don't waste your vote. Use it to send a protest message to the next government to protect our NHS and not privatise it. Vote National Health Action Party on May the 7th.
Hi, I'm Felicity. I'm standing for election because I love Camberwell and Peckham, and I believe in the importance of voting. I think a vote in the general election should be a positive choice, and I want to provide that choice. The Whig Party is Britain's oldest progressive political party, and it was based on principles that we think are still important today, like human rights, social justice, and an open and inclusive democracy. I'm not your typical politician, but by doing this, I hope to encourage other people to get involved in our amazing democracy and to contribute to the conversation. If you share my excitement about a brighter, fairer and more progressive future, please vote Whig on May the 7th.
Well, we hope you found that interesting and most importantly, useful. You can find out more information and more reports on our channel. And on May the 7th, whoever you vote for, just make sure you vote. I'm Alistair Greener for South West London TV.